Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Maddie. I am a reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and in today's video we're doing something really fun. Sorry if you can see my dog in the background or hear him walking around. That's really fun too. But we are actually going to be tier ranking Revolve brands. Thank you so much to Melissa. She suggested this on my last video where I did tier ranking Anthropologie brands. If you have not seen that video, I will link it in the cards above. Some feedback I got on that video was that you guys could not see the brand tags as clearly as you wanted to, so I'm going to do my best to make it a little bit more clear. I heard you. Always let me know if you think there's anything that I can improve. I do not take offense. I want to make the best content possible. So Revolve is much like Anthropologie in that they have a million brands on their website. If you just type in to like a Google search engine, Revolve brand list, you're going to get all of the designers on their website. So obviously I did not do every single brand. We would be here for a while, and I also don't know every single brand on their platform. So I tried to pick a wide variety of what I do know, what I've heard about. Most of these I have resold myself. So let's talk about our categories. So the highest category, the highest tier, the creme de la creme is I'd hide this in my cart. It's so good that like I don't want anyone to see it in fear that they would steal it from me. I'm hiding it in my cart. I'm like doing an internal happy dance. It's the real deal. It's a bolo. The next category is I'd pay $6 to $10 for this brand more often than not. That means that this brand is consistently good. It's not quite so good that I'm like doing backflips inside, but it's good. I'm feeling confident about it. The next tier is called style dependent. So there's certain pieces based on the style, like I would take the time to look up comps. I know that maybe like a certain style of jeans, for instance, one of these brands I'm thinking of is going to do really well, and I would definitely look up comps on it to confirm that. But overall, besides that one style, it's just not that good. The next category is at the bins, meaning I would get this at the bins, or in my case at a 99-cent day. I wouldn't put much into this, but I would still get it to resell. And the last category, the worst category, is my wallet is closed. So let's go ahead and get started ranking these brands. But first we have 7 for All Mankind. I didn't say in the intro, but most of these brands are sold other places. They are not Revolve exclusive. So 7 for All Mankind, or 7 Fam as it is often referred to as. 7 Fam is a very popular jeans brand, and it retails for a decent amount of money, normally anywhere from like 150 I want to say to like 250, and it just doesn't do that well. There's a lot of different styles. You can often see it on the waistband, it will tell you, but it's not the worst brand ever because there is one style that does really well, and if you guys have been reselling for a while, you know what that style is. It is called the dojo jean. The dojo jean on the back pocket, it has embroidered on it a 7, you know, for 7 for All Mankind, a little on the nose there, and it can do really well. You can get like $60 to $65 depending on the cut of the jean, because they make this particular dojo jean in skinny jeans, in boot cut, and flare. And I would definitely say like the skinny jeans you're gonna get less for, but if you can find like a good boot cut or flare, maybe even a straight leg, you're gonna do pretty well. So I am definitely going to put this on the style dependent category because I would pay up for a good pair of dojos. You do have to check the bottom of the dojos. I mean, you should do this on every single jean, but do check the bottom, especially if it is a boot cut, to make sure that there's not any wear on the bottom, because a lot of the times people don't get their jeans hemmed and they step on the bottom and then you see on the hem that it is all worn. So definitely check that out, but be on the lookout for dojos. Next up, we have a collaboration. This is an athletic collaboration. This is Adidas and Stella McCartney. This retails for a lot of money. And I remember when I first started reselling, I was definitely on the lookout for this collaboration, and then it slowly petered off into, okay, I'll send this collaboration into the Real and get like $10 for it. And now it's just not very good. It sits around whenever I do get it, and I'm gonna put it in my wallet is closed. Like, I really don't even think I would get this at the bins. Maybe if it was like a neutral black pair of leggings, or like they have this one really cool like watercolor jacket that I can think of, but for the most part it just doesn't do well. Do you guys have a different experience with that? Our next brand is one that I have actually never sold before, but I have looked up comps. I have heard about it from Jack and Ryan of Jack Valentine's channel, and that is Agua Bendita. And if you've never watched Jack's channel, number one, what are you doing? He's hilarious. But this is one of Jack's like bolo brands. He's done so well with it. Anytime he makes a sell by Agua Bendita, he does like the oh sound because it is so good. It's like holy. It's a holy brand. So I've never sold it. They are known for these really beautiful dresses. They also do a swimwear. Don't pick up the swimwear without looking up comps because some of it is not very good, and typically I've noticed the swimwear has a different type of brand. It's kind of like this bright yellowish color, but this Agua Bendita is going to be a rectangular, thicker brand tag. You guys know that typically indicates that it's a sign of quality, and any sort of Agua Bendita dress, if I ever saw it out in the wild, which I never have, I would definitely hide it in my cart. It is so good. Like, you can literally get like $400 to $700 if you find a rare piece. Like, check out Jack's videos because he has made some really good investments into Agua dresses. He's paid up for them and then managed to flip them for hundreds of dollars. Our next brand here, I do have experience reselling. It is a brand that retails for a lot of money. Like, we're talking like 300 plus some of these dresses. And that brand is called Alexis. Alexis is primarily known for their formal dresses, but they do make tops and blouses, skirts as well. I have found Alexis a few times at my regular thrift store. Funnily enough, I actually found Alexis for the first time at a thrift store right before the COVID shutdown. Like, everyone in my area, I'm in Texas, and Texas was one of the last ones to shut down for COVID, as you guys may or may not know. And everyone in my area was starting to shut down. It was actually around this time in 2020. I'm filming this in spring break of 2024. And everyone was starting to shut down. Schools were saying they weren't going back. I was a teacher at the time, so I was like in disbelief, but I was like, I need to get to the thrift store before we shut down completely. So I put on my mask. I went out to Texas Thrift, and I had one of the best thrift hauls ever. I was like, what is going on? Like, as soon as we're shutting down, this is when the thrift stores are blooming with great products. Like, come on, guys. Like, that was a hard time for everyone for different reasons, but the resellers were struggling. But I actually found Alexis there. I found a dress, and it took forever to resell, but it did eventually end up reselling for a decent amount. And then I have also gotten Alexis off of the RealReal before, and I have flipped it from there. And what I will say about Alexis, it does sell for a lot of money, but you have to be willing to wait. And I am someone who does not like to pay up for a product and wait around for it to sell. I like to source things. I like for them to sell in a very timely manner. And in my opinion, a timely manner is going to be a month to 2 months, especially if I'm paying up for it. So I wouldn't hide it in my cart, but I think for the dresses, I definitely consistently pay $6 to $10. That seems fair. Our next brand is Alice and Olivia, and Alice and Olivia has been around for a very long time. They make all different sorts of items, and it is one of my personal favorite brands. They're the perfect balance for me of bohemian and feminine. Some of their pieces are a little bit too out there for my personal style, but I just think that the designs are just beautiful. But with that said, Alice and Olivia, because it has been around for so long, some of these styles are very outdated. Some of these styles you can find at TJ Maxx for honestly like a reasonable price if you're willing to wait around for the yellow tag sale. And it can sit. It can definitely sit. I have this beautiful dress right now in my closet that I'm thinking of. I got it at the regular thrift store. I did pay up for it. I think I paid like $7, $8 for it, which for me, we know that's paying up. And it's beautiful, but it has been sitting in my closet forever. It attracts a lot of attention. It is a newer Alice and Olivia piece, but no one wants to take the plunge and buy it. So with that said, I'm gonna put it in the $6 to $10 more often than not, only for dresses. I would not pay that much for a blouse. Maybe I would pay that much for a maxi skirt though, but definitely for dresses, I would consistently pay that much using my best judgment. Like if it's something that's just like fugly, I'm not gonna get it. That's for most brands. The next brand that we have is called Anina Bing. And this brand is interesting. I have found this brand twice now, and both times it has sat forever, and I don't think I've sold it. I think one is still in my closet, and I think the other piece I ended up selling to Uptown Cheapskate. And both times I've found this brand, it has been a pair of jeans. Now, Anina Bing, if you are unfamiliar with her brand, it is known for very basic, in my opinion, shirts and sweatshirts. So jeans are not really what you're looking for on this. And these shirts and sweatshirts, I don't get it. All they say on them is Anina Bing or Bing, and like that's it. Sometimes there's like a graphic on there of like, I think it's a tiger I've seen. But other than that, I just really don't get it. But they retail for so much money, and they will resell, but only the sweatshirts and only the t-shirts. The jeans, no such luck. So I am going to put it in style dependent. I would only pay up for the t-shirts. If I saw a pair of the jeans at the bins or for 99 cents, honestly, I would have to think about it. I don't even know if I would get it. I'd probably just take it to a buy sell trade store. That's bold of me to say, but my experience with her has not been good. The next brand that we have is called Aster, the label. It's also sometimes referred to as ASTR. This is also sold at Nordstrom, so you are going to see it at Nordstrom Rack and those discount stores as well. They do make a lot of formal dresses, a lot of like wedding guest dresses, and a lot of the times their dresses are lace. Again, they do make other things as well. I've sold a lot of bodysuits by this brand, and it's not a bad brand. Some of the dresses are really cute. It's just that the designs are kind of like basic. Like you could get the same dress from Wave, you could get the same dress probably from like a local boutique. And so I think that's why it just is an okay brand. It's definitely a brand that I would get at the bins though, and I have paid up for it in the past because I know that it will sell quickly. Like I've paid I think like $6 for a dress, but that's only because it was like extra large. It was a nice formal wear dress, and I knew when I was paying up for it, it wasn't gonna sell for a lot, but I knew that it would flip quickly. So more often than not, I would not pay up for it, hence why this is going to at the bins. Most of the time, I'm only gonna pay that bins pricing for it. The next brand we have here is called Aviator Nation, and if you guys have watched my 8 Bolo brands I want to find in 2024, you guys know this is a Bolo brand to me. I've never found it, but I'm gonna go ahead and just instantly put it in that I'm hiding this in my cart. If you guys are curious a little bit more about Aviator Nation, basically they just make like loungewear that has bright colors on it. I don't get it. I described it a little bit better in that 8 Bolo brand video if you want to check that out. Okay, this next brand pains me. It is Barefoot Dreams. Barefoot Dreams, when I first started reselling 2019, 2020, it was all the rage. Everyone was like, it's the softest material ever. Everyone wanted it. Everyone was into it. And now it is at all of the discount stores. Death by TJ Maxx, am I right? And I have paid up for this brand recently. By paid up, I mean I paid like $3 to $6 for it, and they have sold okay. Some of them have sold and some of them have not. And I'm just talking about the basic cardigan sweaters that you see. And I don't think I'm going to pay up for it anymore. So it's not my wallet is closed. I definitely still would get it. There's definitely still an audience for it, but it's now an at the bins only brand for me. The next brand that we have is BCBG Max Azria. I'm sure you guys have seen this a million times at your thrift store. They also have BCBG Generation, which is like their juniors line. This brand, if you do not know, it retails for so much money. It's crazy if you've never been to a BCBG Max Azria store. Even the outlet store, like hundreds of dollars. It's insane. It's insanity. My mom, for her second wedding to my stepdad, she actually wore a BCBG Max Azria dress. It was really cute. White dress. It was like tiered. And she paid like $200, which is great for a wedding dress. But like for us common folk, for us everyday folk, that's a lot of money for a dress. And when you go to look at comps of this brand, you will see that that does not translate well to the reselling world. It has lost so much of its value. But with that said, I have had good luck with this only when it's a maxi dress and only when it is like very intricate. Like if there's beading, if there's like very nice floral detailing on it. So you guys are gonna think I'm crazy because I feel like a lot of you guys will put this in the my wallet is closed tier. But I'm gonna put it in the style dependent tier because I'm telling you guys, maxi dresses, beading all throughout, a good neutral like voluptuous black dress, it will sell for like 40 to 60 plus. Our next brand is called Beach Riot. This is an exercise brand and I have had I think 2 or 3 run-ins with this brand. I did look up comps before I did this video, just trying to get my head wrapped around where it's at. They're known for like their funky patterns on their leggings, but you guys know I say this in every single brand video that has anything to do with activewear. Activewear turnover rates are just crazy. One day it is all the rage and literally you blink and now it's a nothing brand. This is now an at the bins brand for me. In the past when I've sold it, it has done well. It's sold for like 30 to 40, which for leggings is pretty good. But I did source this brand recently. I have seen this brand at TJ Maxx and it's just not where it used to be. So I would still get it at the bins, but I'm not paying up for it. This next brand I've sold 3 times. It is called By Timo, by Timo. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And they are known for very like Victorian-esque, very intricate, very girly dresses, blouses, etc. It's kind of like Rebecca Taylor-esque. That like more conservative, very feminine, British-esque style. And it's not done well for me. Some people, when I look at comps, it seems like it's doing well for them, but the 3 pieces that I've had, they've sat around for a while and then they just ultimately haven't sold for that well. And one of the pieces I had was a new tag dress and I think I ended up letting it go for like $30 after months, after I want to say half a year. So would I still get it at the bins? Yeah. I don't think I could say no. It's not like that bad, but would I pay up for it? No. It's not even style dependent, so it's definitely a at the bins brand for me. Okay, this next brand, you guys have told me before how to pronounce it. I'm going to do my best, but I already know I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. Cincasept, something like that. And this is actually a very good brand. I have found it a few times, and when I have found it, it's been at those buy sell trade stores, so I have been paying more of a premium price. But this brand in general, I personally have had pretty good luck with. So I'm going to put it in the $6 to $10. It's kind of like a more elevated J. Crew. It's like a step below Saison, but kind of like the same vibes. The next brand that we have is called Cleo Bella, and I have found this brand quite a few times now. It's a bohemian brand. They make a lot of maxi dresses, just very pretty floral dresses in more like subdued colors. Definitely bohemian, like I had said. And I've had good luck with this brand overall, even in smaller sizes. So I think I'm definitely going to put it in the $6 to $10 range, because it gets a lot of attention on all 3 platforms that I sell on. It sells relatively quickly, and I like this brand. Okay, the next brand that we have here is called Donnie, and I've talked about this brand before. Basically, this brand to me, I think of FabFitFun boxes, and I think of that Show Me Your Moo floral cardigan that was in all of the FabFitFun boxes, because Donnie has a similar story. They have this like kind of grayish ribbed cardigan. It's a duster cardigan that was in FabFitFun boxes, and never get that. Just, you'll never be able to sell it. And if you do sell it, it will sell for like $7. But every other piece by Donnie seems to comp really well. It is a high-end brand. It's basically just basics. A lot of the time it's like a terry cloth fabric. So I don't think I would honestly pay $6 to $10 because it sells like $30 to $50 depending on what you get. But I still don't think that it is style dependent. Like, obviously I don't want to get that duster cardigan, but if I find a really good piece and I comp it, I could see myself paying up for it. The next brand that we have is called Equipment. This brand breaks my heart. This brand, I used to be able to get $50 consistently for it. Most of their pieces are silk pieces, and most of their pieces are button downs, and a lot of the times they have patterns on them, and they're really nicely made. But now I can't sell them. They're very similar to like Vince. So my wallet isn't close to them because there still is an audience, but it's definitely an at the bins only pickup for me. Next we have a denim brand, and this is called Frame Denim. They make other things besides just jeans, but probably more often than not you're going to see the jeans. And I actually just paid up for a silk blouse, and I think I paid $6 for it because I was like, I don't know. I was just feeling it that day. And I regret it. I think about that. It haunts me. I wish I hadn't paid that much for it. Because honestly, this brand, for the jeans especially, it's going to go in the my wallet is closed. Shirts, I would probably get at the bins, but because I see jeans more often than not, it's a my wallet is closed. And I've noticed that my buy sell trade store doesn't take this brand often either. Next up we have Free People. You guys know what this brand tag looks like. There's a million different variations. I just chose one at random. Free People is interesting. You guys know how it is. I feel like my initial reaction is to put it into style dependent, but more often than not, Free People is an at the bins for me. Free People used to be one of my favorite brands too, so that hurts. So obviously it is style dependent. Like if you find a good maxi dress by Free People, you can get it. But I think if I'm going with like the majority, I would only get it at the bins. Next up we have Gani. This is a good brand. I don't really know how best to describe the style because it's kind of streetwear style, I guess I would say. And this tag is a good tag. If you find this other tag, it has like an uppercase G and then just lowercase letters. That is the tag that they started out with. That is an older style. The older styles were sold at Anthropologie, and those don't do very well. It's like a textured black dress I see more often than not. But the newer styles with this tag that are more streetwear, that are a little bit funkier, they do well. I'm stuck between, I'm hiding this in my cart and I'd pay $6 to $10 more often than not. I have sold this brand a few times. I think I'm gonna just 6 to 10. I don't think it's a hide in my cart excitement level. The next brand we have is another denim brand. This is Girlfriend Jeans. They took out all of the vowels in this one, and this used to do really well, and now it does not. Basic story. So I have paid up for this brand multiple times, and every single time I have come to regret it, and I have either like broken even or made like $3. This is an at the bins only for me. Next up we have a maternity line. This is Hatch, and do not get this confused with Nines by Hatch. Nines by Hatch is the Target collaboration, but regular Hatch, this black tag, all capital letters, it's good. It's the real deal. And I think I'm gonna put this in style dependent because I still would want to look up comps. Anytime a brand does something with Target, I'm like, good for you, making a diffusion line, get your money, but it does dilute the brand for me. because that's just what I've noticed. Like Spanx, for example. Spanx now has Acids by Spanx, which is at Target, and now regular Spanx, they just don't do as well. So I think it's style dependent. I would definitely look up comps, but for the most part, I do think I would probably end up getting it. But again, it's one where I want to look up comps. The next brand that we have is Nicole Richie's brand. This is called House of Harlow, and this is for the like bohemian child. They're really funky. A lot of the times they have fringe on them. A lot of the times they have like little tassels. They also do make shoes. I've had good luck with House of Harlow shoes. This is sold at TJ Maxx though, so don't get it twisted. My wallet is open to it, so let's start with that. I would get it at the bins. I have paid up for this in the past, but it's never performed quite as well as I wanted to do. So I think I'm gonna put it at the bins only. The next brand that we have is Hunter. Hunter boots are the wellies, the rain boots. I've one pair myself. I used to have like 3 pairs, and then I was like, Maddie, you live in Texas. It doesn't rain here that much. Why do you have 3 pairs of rain boots? So I do have 1 pair of rain boots myself. They are pretty comfortable for rain boots. They are probably the most well-known rain boot brand I can think of. But with that said, they don't do as well as they used to. You used to be able to very easily get like $50 to $70 depending on the color and condition, obviously. They are a little bit heavier at the bins. So I think I'm going to put them in, my wallet is close to them because I feel like a lot of the times when I find them, they're either marked to oblivion at the thrift store, or when I find them and they're reasonably priced, they're just beat beyond repair. I know it sounds easy to repair a rain boot, but it's like you have to think about how much time you're really investing into cleaning them up. Sometimes they are just so scuffed, it's just not worth it. So I think I'm gonna put them in my wallet is closed. The next brand we have is I Am Gia, and this is a funky brand. This brand, it was really popular like 5 years ago. They made this really oversized teddy coat, but beyond that, everything else I've ever seen by this brand is odd. It's very much so not my style, but like it definitely attracts attention. It's kind of like art to wear, like rave style. It's funky. Like for example, I saw this one pair of pants that were like, they literally looked like intestines, like white intestines. They were just all ruffly. They were odd to me, but they sold in like a blink. Like it was crazy, and they sold for a good amount. They say funky stuff sells, so I definitely would pay $6 to $10 for this, no doubt. It's not I'm hiding this in my cart because some of the pieces are misses even for the resale market, but it's definitely $6 to $10 for sure. The next brand that we have is called Isabel Marant, and this is a very high-end designer brand. I have been fortunate enough to find this once, and the one time that I found it, it was new with tag, but it was damaged. It was this really pretty white dress, and it had a big hole in the dress, and the unfortunate thing was the hole wasn't on a seam, so it wasn't an easy to repair hole. Like it was just a random hole. I have no idea what this person who previously owned it was doing. Maybe it was like just made that way in the factory, but despite that gigantic hole, it still ended up selling for like $50. So imagine if it was new with tags in Flawless, how much it would have gone for. So this is an I'm hiding this in my cart brand. This is a good brand. The next brand that we have is called Standard James Purse. This is a basics wear brand. They do use vanity sizing, so you do often have to go to their size chart, and it's a really easy size chart to remember. Like a 0 is an extra small, 1 is a small, etc. They primarily make these like very basic button-down shirts. They're just closet staples. Occasionally you'll find a dress by this brand. And I used to be able to get like $40 for this, but now it's more like $25, but it's a consistent seller. So I'm gonna put it in the at the bins category for sure. This next brand I have never found before, but it is on one of my BOLO lists inside of my brain, and it is called Juliet Dunn. So I'm sure you guys already know where I'm going to put this if I just said it's on a BOLO list. This isn't, I'm hiding this in my cart, but I do think it's kind of silly to hide it in my cart because this is a very obscure brand. This brand, they make these like very cottage core-esque dresses, just kind of baggier. It's like wearing a very pretty sack. I think of like the paper bag princess, but with like Lisa Frank-esque designs, like Love Shack Fancy-esque designs. Like they're very eye-catching patterns and materials, but a lot of the times they are very shapeless. But if you ever look up comps on Juliet Dunn, they're good. The next brand that we have is called Joie. I used to think this brand was called Joey for the longest time. It is Joie, and this brand is everywhere. It is at Nordstrom, it is at Nordstrom Rack, it's at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, etc. So I'm sure you guys already know where this is going. And this is, my wallet is closed to this brand. It retails for a lot of money. A lot of the times I do think the pieces are pretty. I think they're great workwear pieces, but people just are not seeking it out. The next brand is called L-Space. This is a brand that primarily makes swimming suits, but they also are known for their dresses. A lot of times it's like a cover-up dress, and I have had very good luck with this despite seeing it at TJ Maxx. So I don't think I'd pay $6 to $10 for it unless it was new with tags, but I do think it's style dependent. Like I would take the time to look up comps, and I am lazy. I don't often look up comps, so that means something to me. Okay, sorry if I mispronounce this. Again, it's another French brand, and I did not take French, I took Spanish, but this is called L'Académie, something like that. I have sold this brand a few times, and every time it has done pretty well. It is hard to describe. It's like a very basic brand, like nothing about it really like sticks out to me. It's just similar to like styles you would see at Aritzia, and I'm gonna put this on style dependent because I definitely would take the time to look it up. The next brand is called Likely. This brand is primarily known for making formal dresses, and a lot of the times they are mini dresses. They don't have a lot of like patterns to them. They're just a lot of times it's a solid color, and they're cut in ways that are kind of clubbing-esque without being like risque, if you know what I mean. So they're shorter, but they're still, you can still wear it in front of your mom. They're not like slinky dresses. But this brand does really poorly for me, so I'm gonna put it in my wallet is closed. The next brand is called Lioness, and this is the opposite of Likely. Like this brand makes very, very slinky dresses. This brand, it's like a Shein. I don't like this brand. They're very trendy pieces, so sometimes I am tempted to pick up this brand just because it is so trendy. But, you know, it's like you get what you pay for, and people don't want to pay for this. So my wallet is closed to Lioness. Next, we have Love Shack Fancy, and if you don't know Love Shack Fancy, you are missing out. They make some of the most like whimsical dresses that I just really like them. They're floral a lot of the times. They're just very pretty. If you have a very girly style, this is for you. If you are not a girly person, you're not gonna like this. But I really like Love Shack Fancy, primarily the dresses. They do make other things as well, and they also do make a kids line. They have a collaboration with Superga as well for their shoes. And overall, this is a good brand if you find the newer tag, but it definitely can sit for a while. I have a sweater dress in my closet by Love Shack Fancy right now that has been sitting for at least 6 months, and it gets a lot of attention, it gets a lot of likes, but it's not moving. So with that said, I feel like a lot of people would hide this in their cart, but I think I'm more of the $6 to $10 range. Next up, we have a brand called Majorelle, and this brand is primarily what I've seen a dress brand. I've sold other things by this brand, but dresses are often what I see. I think that's kind of what Revolve is known for, is like going out or formal wear clothes, and a lot of times that does equate to dresses. So Majorelle, they make polka dot dresses. They just make they just make patterns that are just universally appealing, I feel like. So this has done okay for me. Sometimes I think I am persuaded by how cute I personally think the item is, and then I pay a little bit more than I probably should. But consistently, it does sell in like that 2 to 3 month range for about $30 to $40. Some of the pieces are going to do better than others, so I'm going to put it in style dependent. Next up, we have Mother Denim, and I feel like Mother Denim gets more hype in the reselling community than it should. It's like one of those brands that we all collectively like struggle to let go of, because it used to be you could sell the skinniest of skinny jeans in Mother Denim, and now that is really not the case. If you ever go to the RealReal's website and you go to their jeans and you go to the discount jeans, you're going to find a bunch of Mother Denim for affordable prices. So if you want a pair for yourself, you can honestly find a pair on the RealReal for like $15 to $20. But for resale, I have seen it just drastically more lately. So I wouldn't pay $6 to $10 for it, to be honest, unless it was like a very trendy piece, like boot cut, sailor jeans, etc. I'm gonna put it in style dependent. Like, that feels right. Honestly though, I don't think I would get the skinny jeans at the bins. But style dependent for sure, because like the dojos, there's certain styles where you can get a lot of money for them. Like the little kick flares would be good. Basically, not a skinny or straight, and definitely not a colored pair of jeans. We have Nili Lotan, and I've sold this brand once. It was damaged, much like the Isabel Marant piece. It was damaged. It was a white Henley, and there was like this big stain on it. I disclosed that, of course. It sold on eBay for like $40. So this is I'm hiding this in my cart. I want to find more of this. Yes, please, brand for me. Then we have One Teaspoon. This brand is primarily known for their denim. They make these really short shorts. Like your butt cheeks are going to be hanging out in these shorts, like that short. Even they have like different styles. If you look inside of the tab, there's the bandit and etc. And I used to do really well for these. It used to be at my Plato's Closet. They never recognized this brand as a brand in their system, so they always price these at $10, sometimes even less, like $8 to $10, I would say. And I would pick them up, and then I would flip them like that for $50, and now I cannot move them. These are now sad. This is now a my wallet is closed brand. The next brand is an activewear brand. It is called Onzi, and they make a lot of very like in-your-face pattern brands. A lot of the times it is a very stretchy like lycra material. They have their size tag underneath the Onzi tag, and a lot of times it's like small medium or medium large, so it can fit 2 sizes. But this brand does not do well. I cannot move this brand. So this is now in the my wallet is closed. Another denim brand next is called Pistola. This brand, it's never done well for me. I don't see the appeal of this brand. I have tried time and time again to love this brand, and it just doesn't love me. It's time for me to move on. My wallet is closed to you, Pistola. Then we have Rag and Bone, and this is one of those brands that like I literally just, I hold it in my heart. It's near and dear to me. I just have a soft spot for it. And I feel like as resellers, we all have those brands where we just have brands that we like. And for the most part, I feel like this brand does not perform as well as it used to. But it is style dependent, because if you can find a good cashmere wool piece, wide leg jean, trendier jean, you're gonna get some good money, and it's gonna move fairly quickly. So I feel comfortable there. The next brand that we have is another denim primarily brand. This is Redone. Basically, they collab a lot with denim brands. They redo these vintage pairs of jeans, and I hate this brand. It's done nothing for me. Some people, I don't get it. They can get $70 consistently for this, and I'm over here like, does anyone want it for $20? I've been sitting on this forever. So I still think I'd be tempted to get it at the bins, despite it just not ever performing well for me. The next brand we have is Rebecca Taylor. I personally love Rebecca Taylor. I think her pieces are just so classy, so beautiful, just so elegant. but it just doesn't sell that well. And it's one of those brands that has just consistently like plummeted for me. But I do find when I get it for 99 cents and I price it accordingly, like if I price it at $50, it's not gonna sell. But if I price it at like 30, it will sell pretty quickly for like 20. And as someone who is a bulk reseller, that fits my business model. So I'm going to put it in at, I'd get this at the bin. The next brand we have is called Papette Saint Barth. And this brand is known for like their super mini dresses. They have maxi dresses as well, but I feel like primarily I see the mini dresses. A lot of the times they are just like a cutesy floral pattern. I have had good and bad experiences with this brand. I've found it a few times at my thrift store, and then I have also sourced it a few times off of the RealReal to resell, and sometimes it just sits for a very long time. So I definitely am not hiding it in my cart if I see it, but I am stuck between I'd pay $6 to $10 more often than not and style dependent only. I think I'm going to put it in style dependent only. The brand is called Retrofet, and this brand is known for their like very in your face, crowd stopping, like glittery sequin dresses. Like this is a dress that if you are a performer, like you need this. And these dresses retail for so much money. So without a doubt, this is I'm hiding this in my cart, but because of course there's like all of that beading on it, I just would really look it over. I would really make sure that it is intact to the point where you can resell it depending on how much you're paying for it. The next brand is called Sailor. Sailor, again, is primarily known for dresses. And I've never really been super impressed with the quality of their dresses, but some of their designs are just really fun. Like, for example, I actually received 2 Sailor dresses in my ThredUp mixed clothing box. And the reason why I received those dresses, why ThredUp rejected them, is because they were missing a size tag. And I was really excited whenever I saw them because one of the dresses was like horribly made, but it was really cute because I had like this feather trim and it was really trendy. So to be honest, I don't think the quality is really there, but I do think it is cute enough that people do search it out. But with that said, it is style dependent, I feel like, more than consistently paying $6 to $10. I feel like it's style and also size dependent. Anytime I've found Sailor in a size large or higher, it moves really quickly. The next brand is called Spell in the Gypsy, and this is a very fun bohemian brand. A lot of the times the pieces are oversized. Some of the prints are rare, but what I will say about Spell is I have noticed that it just doesn't do as well as it used to. There are some knockoffs as well, and then they are always doing these sample sales. So I do think it's a little bit oversaturated because I have noticed that a lot of resellers do go to the sample sales, they buy a lot of the pieces, and then the market's just flooded with these pieces that they're trying to resell. Now, with that said, I still do think I'd pay $6 to $10 more often than not, but I'm not hiding it in my cart, and I'm not willing to pay like $15 unless it is one of those like really rare pieces. But even then, I think I would hesitate because I have had to sit on some Spell pieces before. The next brand is called Spiritual Gangster, and this is one of those brands that was like so high and then so quickly it plummeted. There was no like steady trajectory down. It was literally just like, what? You know, when you like ride a roller coaster and it just immediately just like, and your heart races. That is Spiritual Gangster. It just doesn't do well anymore, and honestly, I don't even think I would get it at the bins. Next up, we have an in-house Revolve brand. This is their lower end line called Super Down, and basically this is Shein stuff. To be honest, the quality is not very good. It's just super trendy, but it doesn't have Shein pricing. It is still like $30 to $40, which for someone like me who primarily shops at thrift stores, I'm like, that's a lot of money. Like Shein's cheaper than that. You might as well at that point go to Shein. Not that I'm endorsing shopping off of that. But same thing, fast fashion, just not very good. And I've noticed that my buy-sell trade store is no longer interested in Super Down either. So my wallet is closed. The next brand is called Ula Johnson, and this is definitely a very like cottage core, like prairie type of brand. A lot of the times the dresses are oversized, they're kind of subdued florals, feminine without being super in your face in terms of print, but a lot of the times the structure is very, very feminine. And I'm struggling because like part of me wants to just like on principle put it in that I'm hiding this in my cart category, but some of the pieces I've had are older pieces and they just don't do that well. So I feel like consistently I would definitely pay $6 to $10 for it, but I'm not so excited that I'm hiding it in my cart. And the last brand that we have is called Barley. This is again another athleisure wear line, and this used to do really well, like anything, and now I'm gonna put it in at the bins only because I still think I would get the leggings and everything at the bins, but there's this one pullover, I actually own it myself, and it is like the only thing that consistently does well from Barley. It's like a ribbed pullover and it has zippers on the side, but other than that everything else is just kind of like middle of the road, like not that great. You're gonna get like $20 for it. I even had this puffer jacket by Barley and I expected it to do really well and it was disappointing. So let's review everything really quickly and make sure everything looks good. I feel like that is a fair showing of my thoughts. I definitely have more thoughts on Revolve brands than Anthropologie brands because like overall I just feel like I don't really like reselling a lot of Revolve brands. Do you guys feel the same way? I don't know. But that is everything. That is all of the Revolve brands. If you guys disagree or agree, let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any suggestions on any other tier ranking system you would like for me to do, please do let me know and I will get to it. I did just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone for the support and the feedback I received on my prior video that I made where I was talking about my disdain towards clickbait titles, towards mystery boxes, and reselling courses. Honestly, I was a bit hesitant to speak on those things and to upload the video because I'm a very conflict adverse person. I don't like to engage in any sort of drama of the sorts, but it had been on my mind. I didn't want to call anyone out specifically. You guys left some comments on that video and you guys could draw conclusions as to some of the things I was talking about, and you guys are saying you see it in the reselling community as well, which is unfortunate. But I did just want to say thank you for your support. You guys really are such a great community, and I am thankful for each and every one of you, whether you comment, like, or subscribe to my channel just for watching. Thank you. And as someone who is very shy, who is very introverted, it just meant a lot that you guys were able to kind of help me articulate myself in that video and kind of feel validated. Since high school, I have tried to live my life by this Dr. Seuss quote, which I know sounds kind of silly, but Dr. Seuss, he's got some really good quotes, guys. And the quote that I try and live my life by is, "Be who you are, say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind." And I'm just so glad to know that you guys have my back, that we have each other's back, if you will. So thank you so much, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. A lot of you guys did comment on that video and say that you guys are from the DFW area as well. And just, if you guys ever see me out and about, I probably don't have any makeup on. I'm probably wearing like leggings and an oversized hoodie or something. And please approach me, please say hi. I am a very, very shy person, and it normally does take me a little bit to warm up and not be socially awkward. So if you leave our encounter thinking to yourself, that was kind of awkward, just know it's not you, it's me. But please do not hesitate. Please feel free to approach me and we can talk all things reselling, and that sounds like a really good time to me. And I do just want to take a moment to shout out to YouTubers that I just think are really genuine. There's a lot of reselling YouTubers out there that I could shout out, and I will try to continue to shout out these people that, in my opinion, seem like they're the real deal. So I want to take a minute and I will link their channels down below. It'll be the first thing I link. I do want to take a minute though to shout out these two channels, and the first channel is Alma's channel. Alma is the kindest, sweetest reseller. She is a part-time reseller, and she just does such a great job of explaining why she sourced items, how she's packaging the items, and what's been selling. And it's a really realistic snapshot of what is selling. There's no smoke and mirrors there. And then I do also want to take the time to shout out Gloria. Gloria's shipping videos are so much fun. It's like literally listening to your friend talk about reselling. And what I like is her videos are like snappy, they're to the point, they have humor in them. So please go check them out if you have not already. And if any of you guys have YouTube channels yourselves, please let me know. I am on and off in the YouTube reselling world. I frankly just don't watch a lot of TV or YouTube except when I am running on the treadmill or when I am like photographing things. Otherwise, I'm reading a book or playing with my dogs. And so I right now have fallen into the booktube rabbit hole where pretty much that's all I'm watching right now. But if you do have a YouTube channel, whether it is reselling related or not, let me know. I know it's really hard sometimes to get to that 1,000 subscriber threshold. It took me a year of consistently uploading to get to the 1,000 subscribers. So do let me know and I will do my best to check it out. I am terrible at commenting on things, so do know, like, even if I don't comment, I still will click on your profile, check out your channel, and most likely I will subscribe. So do leave that down below. And again, just from the bottom of my heart, I do want to say thank you to all of you guys. I could not ask for a better community. I am just sincerely so thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, please do make sure that you hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Bye guys!